Love me or leave me, let me be lonely. You won't believe me, and I love you only. I'd rather be lonely than happy with somebody else. You might find the nighttime the right time for kissing, but it's my time for just reminiscing, regretting instead of forgetting with somebody else. There'll be no one unless that someone is you. I intend to be independently blue. I want your love, but I don't want to borrow, to have today and to give back tomorrow. My love is your love, there's no love for nobody else. Nighttime is my time, 'cause nighttime is the right time. My love is your love, there's no love for nobody else.
Constance Dowling, 24 July 1920, is born in New York City. Her sister will become actress Doris Dowling. Early 1940s, works at the New Theatre School to pay for her acting classes. There she meets Shelly Winters and they become good friends. Auditions with Shelly to become a Cobra girl and gets the job for about a month. She will remember it being worse than modeling. She and Shelly end up as ushers for $1 a performance at the Belasco Theater. She and Shelly occasionally work during the cocktail hour at Schrapp's, where they get their dinners free. Quiet City was a 1939 play by Irwin Shaw. The play had been commissioned for the group theater by Harold Clurman and was directed by Elia Kazan. The leading roles were played by, among others, Norman Lloyd, Francis Farmer, Carl Malden, and Martin Ritt. Presented in April 1939, the play was dropped after only 3 Sunday night performances at the Belasco Theater in New York City. Quiet City didn't work, wrote Lloyd. Shaw gave up on it. Constance Dowling's Broadway debut was in this play, Quiet City, in which she played a bit part. It was, of course, directed by Elia Kazan, with whom she went on to have a major affair. 11 September 1940 to January 1941 stars in Al Jolson's last Broadway show, Hold On to Your Hats, at the Shubert Theater. 30 October 1940 to 3 January 1942 stars in Broadway's 46th Street Theater in Panama City. 1944, while filming Knickerbocker Holiday with Nelson Eddy, he doesn't want her to look into his eyes when they do a scene together and insists she look at his forehead instead. Hates being a Goldwyn girl. 1945, Goldwyn drops her in favor of newcomer Virginia Mayo, has a very posh apartment on North Sycamore, entertains at the Hollywood Canteen, and does USO shows at hospitals. Starts a long, painful love affair with married director Elia Kazan, who can't give her up nor divorce his wife. I am now going to read a few excerpts from the autobiography of moving picture director Elia Kazan. It had all happened, I believe, because I'd become a performer, Acting is a sexual act. An actor, as much as an actress, is presenting himself for desire. I'm powerful, he's saying. Look at me. Listen to me. I'm important. He's also saying, I'm potent. Acting had given me what I'd never had before, a sense of that kind of power. I felt I could have any woman I wanted. I enjoyed this potency on stage. My performance improved as I discovered I was open to sexual adventure. Soon after we opened, I was looking around. This was strange because I'd always been a cautious man. Then it happened in a burst. Her name was Constance Dowling. She's dead, so I can name her. That winter and spring, we'd been like animals in season or two criminals closely pursued, consorting everywhere. On cold nights, up against the radiator that warmed the lobby of her apartment house. On the first miracle-warm day of spring, on the roof, back at the chimney stacks. Walking the dark city streets, we might suddenly turn into a narrow alleyway between tall buildings. Or, when the impulse insisted, we'd meet in a box in the Belasco theater before the audience had entered, our sounds muffled by the heavy weight of the drapes. Even during the performance, I wasn't in the first act of Golden Boy. We'd do it up against the rail at the back of the orchestra, just for the hell of it, or quickly, in the lounge below. Afternoons we had more time and met in rooms borrowed from agreeable friends. I had a list. Or, when I had money to spare, in an air shaft single of a cheap hotel just off 8th Avenue at 46th Street, $16 well spent. More than careless, I'd become reckless. Did it matter that the cab driver was watching us in the rearview mirror? Was I trying to smash my well-ordered life so it couldn't be put back together? Constance was 19 and had every charm given to youth. She was a dancer. With those legs, had been in the chorus of a couple of musicals. She wanted to be a dramatic actress and was working as an usher at the Belasco to watch our performances. Years later, when it was over between us, she became a film actress, rather a favorite in Europe, sort of a star. Later, but I hadn't been able to forget Constance. I'd not had again what I'd had with her. She was literally the girl of my dreams. I'd cut the affair off when I went to England, felt it was endangering everything solid in my life. Later still, I had a passionate goodbye to Constance. Then decided that she should ride out to Chicago with me. We enjoyed a night in a lower berth, riding through the dark country, with the shade up. Somewhere in the night, I'd said, I love you, Constance. When she'd replied, and then what? I hadn't answered. I didn't want to lose her, but I knew no true way to hold her. Unable to handle my infatuation, I was, for the moment, doing the only thing I could do. Putting distance between us. Later. I love her eyes when she's being fucked. My pleasure is to see her pleasure. When she comes, she calls out, "Oh, darling." Then she'd say, "Oh my God," rather sadly, and then, "Don't stop, don't stop," her face a mixture of joy and pain. When I think of those moments, I never want to die. I feel the hell with everything. Am I in love? I must be. I can't think of anything else. I don't want to work. I've become disconnected with any goal that I used to have. All I want is to see her every afternoon, every night. I've lost my ambition. Connie means cunt in Old English. The delicate folded flower with its twin petals. That's my obsession. That's all I can think about. Later still. Constance was not at the restaurant at 8 when I had said. I should have understood this because I'd given her only a few hours' notice and she might have left home before my wire arrived. I then called her home, but no one answered. I had another drink. I began walking the streets midtown in the unconscious activity of searching for her. I looked into the Kazan door, the restaurant where she told me she used to meet Bob Kappa. Did I really expect Constance to remain constant? Get that? Well, I was in Hollywood making Blues in the Night. She told me she'd done it with someone else that summer. Well, I was celibate. In the back seat of a Pontiac, she said. I wondered which dress she was wearing that night. I couldn't stand the thought of anyone else fingering her, eagerly taking someone else in, legs up, and there between her legs, the flower with 2 petals. I never tasted that before. It always seemed gross, but not with her. Hers is delicate, 2 pink petals and 2 hungry eyes. Now I understood jealousy. Don't forget how you feel now when you next direct a scene of jealousy. The following is a letter from Elia Kazan to his wife Molly about his affair with Constance Dowling. I'm going with Constance again. I enjoy it. It's not as deep a well or as wide as a church door, but 'twill serve. She's tender and simple and uncomplicated. She's loving and graceful. Put it this way, she has no problem with me except the fundamental one, whether she really has me or not. Divorce me, make other friends. Let's take the stew which is spoiled and throw it out. Then anything we feel and anything we really actually want of each other, we'll have of each other. The following are from the diaries of Cesare Pavese, published in English under the title The Burning Brand. We begin with the 6th of March, 1950. This morning, at 5 or 6 o'clock, the morning star, huge and quivering on the mountains of snow, excitement, trepidation, insomnia. Connie was sweet and submissive, but nonetheless detached and firm. All day my heart has been pounding and still has not calmed down. For 3 nights I have hardly slept. I talk and talk. What is called passion? Is it not simply this wild beating of the heart, this weakness of the nerves? I'm much worse than I was in 34 and 38. Then I was frenzied with desire, but I was not ill. Yet it all seems a passing Vanderpunkt, all of it. But she is a well-known figure, socially and morally. Suppose there were some misunderstanding? Am I not deluding myself as I used to do, mistaking for human values those simple accessories and distinction? Glamour, adventure, the fashionable world? America itself, its sweet, ironic return to my life in terms of human values, can it be true? 9th March. My heart throbs. I tremble. I cannot stop sighing. Is it possible at my age? What is happening is the same as when I was 25. Yet I feel confident and incredibly, serenely hopeful. She is so good, so calm, so patient, so made for me. After all, it was she who sought me out. But why did I not dare on Monday? Was I afraid? It is a terrible step to take. 16th March. It was a terrible step, yet I took it. Her incredible sweetness, her darlings, her smile, her long-repeated pleasure at being with me. Nights at Sardinia, nights in Turin. She is a child, an unspoiled child, yet she is herself terrifying. From the bottom of my heart, I did not deserve so much. 22nd March. Nothing. She has written nothing. I must get used to living as if this is truly normal. There are so many things I have not told her. Deep down, my terror at the thought of losing her is not a longing for possession, but the fear that I shall never more be able to tell her those things. What they may be, I do not know now, but they could pour out like a torrent if I were with her. This is creation. Oh, God, make me find her again. 23rd March. Love is truly the great manifesto, the urge to be, to count for something, and if death must come, to die valiantly with acclamation, in short, to remain a memory. Yet my desire to die, to disappear, is still bound up with her, perhaps because she is so magnificently alive that if my being could blend with hers, my life would have more meaning than before. 25th March. One does not kill oneself for love of a woman, but because love, any love, reveals us in our nakedness, our misery, our vulnerability, our nothingness. 26th March. Before leaving for Milan, nothing. Still nothing. How can I bear it? Now in the street by myself, I speak excellent English. 27th March. Nothing, nothing. I have a live coal in my breast, embers glowing under the ashes. Oh, Constance, why? Why? From Turin, March 17, 1950, to Constance Dowling, Rome. Dear Connie, I wanted to act the strong man and not write to you right away, but what would be the point? It would only be a pose. Did I ever tell you that as a boy I had the superstition of good deeds? When I had to run a risk, take an exam, for example, I was careful in those days not to be bad, not to offend anyone, not to raise my voice, not to have bad thoughts. All this so as not to alienate my destiny. Well, it happens to me that these days I become a boy again, and I really run a great risk. I take a terrible exam because I realize that I dare not be bad, offend others, think vile thoughts. The thought of you and an unworthy, ugly memory or idea do not go together. I love you. Dear Connie, I know all the weight of this word, the horror and the wonder, and yet I tell you almost calmly, I have used it so little in my life, and so badly, that it is as if new to me. Now I am alone with my work, with Turin, with the others, Ciccio and Dada. Neither of them has said anything to me, so much the better. I don't know if I could have resisted and not betrayed myself like a boy. Ciccio and Dada are a little melancholic, that's all. Yesterday I sent them the records in your name. Tell Doris that I saved 3,000 lira. This morning I sent you the books you had chosen. My love, the thought that when you read this letter you will already be in Rome, all the discomfort and confusion of the journey over, that you will see her smile in your mirror and resume your habits and sleep like a good girl, moves me as if you were my sister. But you are not my sister. You are something sweeter and more terrible, and thinking about it makes my wrists tremble. Dear, I'm working for you. See you soon. 10th May. The idea is dawning on me, little by little, that even if she does come back, it will be as though she were not here. I'll never forget you is what is said to someone one means to leave. 13th May, 1950. Deep, deep, deep down, did I not grab at this amazing love affair, seize upon this undreamed of, fascinating thing, to make myself revert to my old thought, my long-standing temptation, to have an excuse for thinking of it again? Love and death. This is the hereditary pattern. 16th May. Now even the morning is filled with pain. March 19, 1950. Dear Connie, here is the story for the two sisters. The title doesn't matter. It's just a rough draft, just an idea. If you think it's worth it, let me know and we'll keep working on it. If you don't like it, I'll do another one until we find a good one. Life is many days. I think I've taken into account the type and possibilities of both. And I also think I've given it a background and a meaning from which something beautiful could be born. Very acted and embroidered, tender and terrible, with moving and important scenes. Of course, all the work of dialogue and ideas, of passages and types, still needs to be done, but it won't be difficult. As for dialogue, I'm one of the recognized masters of the genre! Exclamation point. As for cinematic syntax, I know nothing about it, but with willpower, you can achieve anything. I have already learned in life to be a translator, a poet, a critic, a storyteller, a proofreader, an editorial consultant, a teacher. All things I didn't know when I was 20. I can learn to do this too. And you who have learned to act, to dance, to pose, to speak Italian, to stay afloat, are no less. After all, so far the Italian-American collaboration has produced nothing of value. I would be happy if an old Piemontese owl could do it with you. At this point, Doris should go. Goodbye, Doris. I want to say goodbye to Connie alone. You dappled smile. You wind of March. March 1950, to Constance Dowling, Rome. Dear Connie, better to be present in the spirit than in the flesh. Here's my spirit, not the saint one, the spirit of a youth which had some good. Try to forget my useless me and read someday when you feel really alone, when it could give you something to believe in, when awakening to face another day. Rome, April 1950. I cannot give you jewels. You are worth many of them. But in old times they said that the rarest jewel was a true heart. Depend on it. I'm yours. I envy your New York, Cesare. I wrote this before our last dinner together. Something has changed now. You? I come back perhaps, and I thank you for it, whatever God's may be. Dear. April 1950, to Constance Dowling. I have seen the days when to have written a book like this would have meant something. Here's to you, darling. C. Turin, 17 April 1950. Dearest, I am no more in a mood to write poems. They came with you and go with you. This one was written some afternoons ago. During the long hours in the hotel, I was waiting and hesitating to call you up. Forgive its sadness, but I was so sad with you. You see, I began with an English poem and end with another. In them is the whole range of what I experienced in this month, the horror and wonder of it. Dearest, you cannot be cross if I'm always speaking of feelings you cannot share. At least you can understand them. I want you to know that I thank you with all my heart. The few days of wonder I snatched from your life were almost too much for me. Well, they are past. Now horror begins, bare horror, and I am ready for it. The prison door has banged again. Dearest, you'll never come back to me, even if you will set foot again in Italy. We both have something to do in life that makes us improbable to meet again, let alone to be married, as I desperately hope. But happiness is a thing called Joe, Harry, or John, New York, not Cesare. Will you believe, now that you can no more suspect that I'm acting in order to entrap you some way, that last night I wept like a child on my lot? If I've ever said or done anything you could not approve of, forgive me, dearest. I forgive you all this pain gnawing at I welcome it. It's you. It's the true horror and wonder of you. Visa di primavera. Goodbye. I wish you a big luck in all your days and a happy marriage. Yes. You'll get in time la luna e falò, the moon and the bonfires. Perhaps it will already be waiting for you in North Vista Ave before you get there. I'm so glad that your name is on it. Remember that I wrote this book, all of it, before meeting you, and yet somehow I felt in it you were to come. Wasn't it wonderful? Face of spring, I used to love all of you, not only your beauty, which is easy enough, but also your ugliness, your bad moments, your tête noire, your closed face, and I pity you too. Don't forget it. Cesare. Turin, May 4th, 1950, to Doris Dowling, Rome. It's little comfort, Doris, being a genius, 'twere better for me to be a cat in NY. a swallow in Maine, a little ant under the slabs of a certain house in California, etc. An ass, certainly, I am. To Constance Dowling, New York, May 19th, 1950. Dearest Connie, let's speak of hate. I hate the Atlantic. I'm so glad, with your speaking of being back soon, but I don't like your disaffection with the picture. Don't say merde too often. It doesn't help things along. I'm in contact with Doris and tried my hand in some other scripts. One of them was a success with her, and I hope something good for you both will come out of all this. La Luna e Fallo is already in Hollywood, waiting for you. It's a good book, and you the fittest patron saint for it. Remember me in old NY. I loved it with all my heart already when I didn't know you were a little girl in it. Can I send you my love? Chase. Turin, July 6, 1950, to Doris Dowling, Rome. Well, I got a merry and reassuring card from C in New Mex, 27th of June, and I was very sad knowing, as I know, that she'll never come back. I feel like a man deviously told that he's got cancer. One cannot have too much from life, but all one has looks like thrash. It's a long time I realized that my lot is to hug shadows. July 14th. Stoicism is suicide. People are dying in battle again. If ever there is a peaceful, happy world, what would it think of these things? Perhaps what we think about cannibals, Aztec sacrifices, witchcraft. All is the same. Time has gone by. Someday you came, someday you'll die. Someone has died. Someone has died. Long time ago. 20th July. I cannot finish with style. How she still attracts me. 13th August. It's something very different. It is she who came from the sea. 14th August. She too ends up in the same way. She too. It's all right. By now, they are all waves of this sea. 16th August. My dear one, perhaps you are really the best, my real love. But I no longer have time to tell you so, to make you understand, and then, even if I could, there would still be the test, failure. Today I see clearly that from 28 until now, I have always lived under this shadow, what some would call a complex. Let them. It is something much simpler than that. And you are the spring, an elegant, incredibly sweet and lissome spring, soft, fresh, fugitive, earthy and good, a flower from the loveliest valley of the Po, as someone would say. Yet even you are only a pretext. The real fault, apart from my own, lies with agonizing disquietude, with its secret smile. Why die? I have never been so much alive as now, never so young. Nothing can be added to the rest, to the past. We always begin afresh. It seemed easy when I thought of it. Weak women have done it. It takes humility, not pride. All this is sickening. No words, an act I won't write anymore. No words, an act I won't write anymore. The following are two of the final poems written by Cesare Pavese. Death will come and will have your eyes. This death that accompanies us from morning till evening, unsleeping, death, like an old remorse or an absurd vice. Your eyes will be a useless word, a suppressed cry, a silence. That's what you see each morning when alone with yourself you lean toward the mirror. Oh, precious hope, that day we too will know that you are life and you are nothingness. Death has a look for everyone. Death will come and will have your eyes. It will be like renouncing a vice, like seeing a dead face reappear in the mirror, like listening to a lip that's shut. We'll go down into the maelstrom, mute. The following is Pavese's final poem, written in English. Last blues to be read someday. 'Twas only a flirt, you sure did know. Someone was hurt, long time ago. All is the same, time has gone by. Someday you came, someday you'll die. Someone has died, long time ago. Someone who tried, but didn't know. The following is a letter from Elia Kazan to his wife Molly about his affair with Constance Dowling. I'm going with Constance again. I enjoy it. It's not as deep a well or as wide as a church door, but 'twill serve. She's tender and simple and uncomplicated. She's loving and graceful. Put it this way, she has no problem with me except the fundamental one, whether she really has me or not. Divorce me, make other friends. Let's take the stew which is spoiled and throw it out. Then anything we feel and anything we really actually want of each other, we'll have of each other. 1947, moves to Rome with her sister, actress Doris Dowling. They are the first Hollywood actresses to work in Italy permanently. Late 1940s, makes a brief trip back to New York. There she stays at the Algonquin Hotel and meets Shelly. They flirt with Broadway playboys and sports columnists. Dates old friends like Stanley Prager and some famous post-war novelists and playwrights. Then, while in Rome, she learns to speak Italian fluently, has a beautiful apartment, and mingles with the intelligentsia of Europe. Sartre, Moravia, Hemingway, Somerset Maugham, Robert Capa, and George Bernard Shaw. Starts a torrid love affair with famous writer Cesare Pavese. 27 August 1950. Pavese commits suicide with sleeping pills after the love affair ends. A big scandal follows. Pavese fatally linked love to morbidity. His final poetry collection, found on his desk after his death, is significantly entitled Death Will Come and She Will Have Your Eyes. Death is a feminine noun in Italian and is associated with Constance. 1951, Constance returns to the States. 1951, becomes sister-in-law to band leader Artie Shaw, who marries her sister Doris. 1952, hangs around the actor's studio and lives in a small apartment on the east side of New York. Shelly Winters convinces her to return to Los Angeles, where her family is waiting for her, and to try to resume her Hollywood career. It takes her about 3 hours to pack all her belongings and close her apartment. Shelly Winters changes her first-class ticket to 2 tourist-class passages. 1952 is originally chosen for the part for which Colette Marchand will be nominated for an Academy Award in Moulin Rouge. Date uncertain. Marries Ivan Tors, a Hungarian-born writer and producer. They will have 4 sons. A review by Arnold Hoymakers of the following book, The Woman for Whom Cesare Pavese Committed Suicide, by Arjan Mulder. Who is Constance Dowling? You probably don't know. Neither did I until I read The Woman for Whom Cesare Pavese Committed Suicide, the new book by essayist Arjan Mulder, which gives the answer right down to the title. Of course, Pavese experts have now been given the opportunity to see the light. Constance Dowling is the beloved C mentioned in the last pages of Pavese's diary, published in English as The Burning Brand. He dedicated his last novel, The Moon and the Bonfires, to her, and the famous series of poems, Death Will Come and Will Have Your Eyes, is about her. After the fatal affair with Pavese, and after a final attempt to break through as a star in Hollywood, Constance married Ivan Tors in 1953, a producer of science fiction and nature films, the man, as Mulder puts it, who gave the world Flipper, both the 1962 film and the television series. Tors, unlike Pavese, not a teenager, but someone with a sense of responsibility and the ability to love in an adult way, is considered by Mulder to belong to the world of science and technology. The same applies to the brain researcher and dolphin specialist John C. Lilly, with whom Constance became friends after he had acted as an advisor on the filming of Flipper. We learn a lot about both men and their activities, especially about their attempts to expand human knowledge and experience through an almost mystical contact with animals, and thus with the whole of nature, and through LSD trips. We never knew that Flipper and LSD were so close together. Here it also turns out that Constance, who as a caring mother of 3 sons had faded somewhat into the background, has a role to play, namely as an experienced guide to Lilly when he too ventures into LSD for his increasingly fantastic research. The writer, narrator, and host of this podcast once house sat for a considerable period for John Lilly's son, John Lilly Jr., and his wife, Colette, both now deceased, this residence being a very, very small abode immediately proximate to the Century City development in Los Angeles. From Pavese's adored lover in Italy to psychedelic guide in California, this is how you could summarize the life of this failed film star. Mulder is not exaggerating when he characterizes his book as an adventure in reading, which it is. In the mid-1960s, the mind-altering drug LSD, which was legal and freely available at the time, was just becoming popular. John C. Lilly first came into contact with it in Los Angeles through Constance Dowling, the wife of pinball producer Ivan Tors, who also supported Lilly's work financially. The brain researcher Lilly was fascinated and enthusiastic about how the human brain reacted to the drug, that is to say LSD. He also experimented with LSD on himself in order to better research the effects on the brain. He hoped for a breakthrough in communication research by giving the bottlenose dolphins LSD. Despite Lilly's unorthodox research methods, his work on interspecies communication continued to attract funding from major government organizations, including NASA, throughout the 1960s. At the same time, Lilly began experimenting with LSD and other psychedelics after the wife of Ivan Torres, the producer of Flipper, introduced Lilly to acid at a Hollywood party. Ivan was financing some of the work on St. Thomas. Rick O'Berry, founder of the nonprofit Dolphin Project, told The Guardian, "I saw John go from a scientist with a white coat to a full-blown hippie. It wasn't long before Lilly's interest in the consciousness-altering effects of LSD began to bleed into his research on interspecies communication. As early as 1964, Lilly began injecting the dolphins he was studying with LSD to see how it would affect their communication. In 1965, Lilly delivered a report at a conference on the use of LSD in psychotherapy and alcoholism that detailed his experiments. The movie Flipper was directed by a man named Ivan Torres, and strangely, it was his wife who introduced John C. Lilly to LSD at a party. Fast forward not far at all, says The Guardian, and Lilly was combining dolphins and drugs in an entirely different way. He started giving it to them. At the time, Lilly was one of a handful of people licensed to conduct medical research on LSD. It was believed that it might be of some help to patients diagnosed with various mental illnesses, but Lilly wanted to know what it would do to the big, perpetually floating brains of dolphins. Just what happened when he dosed dolphins Sissy and Pamela with LSD, well, it's not precisely clear. 1960s works as a guide at the Dolphin Laboratory in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. 28 October 1969, as Constance D. Torres, she dies at age 49 in Los Angeles, California, of cardiac arrest. Her husband and sons are surviving. Author, anonymous. The following is the final thing that Elia Kazan wrote in his autobiography about Constance Dowling. A few words to finish her story. Constance never made it in Hollywood. She went to Europe with her sister Doris, and for years in Italy they were admired and happy. There Constance became the lover of Cesare Pavese, a fine poet who had sexual problems, and no doubt others which were the source of his sexual problems. Pavese committed suicide, and Constance Dowling returned to the States. Married a film producer and had 2 sons. She died before she could fully enjoy her time of peace with her sons. When she was 47, a brain hemorrhage ended her life. Unquote, Elia Kazan. From La Repubblica, April 16, 2010. Turin. She was the woman who came in March, the speckled smile, the recipient of the poems of Vera la Morte e avrà I tuoi occhi, Death Will Come and Will Have Your Eyes, and of the dedication of La Luna e I falò, The Moon and the Bonfires. For see, ripeness is all, maturity is everything. The American actress Constance Dowling, beautiful and sensual, was the last tormented passion of Cesare Pavese, who killed himself also and above all for that brief and lost love on the night between August 26 and 27, 1950. Connie, married to a producer, would have passed away at 49 years of age in Los Angeles in 1969, officially due to the consequences of an illness. The truth, however, is another. It was discovered by Lawrence G. Smith, a former banker in New York, who now deals with literature, who has written an interesting and documented essay, Cesare Pavese and America, Life, Love, and Literature, published by the University of Massachusetts Press, from which we take the liberty of quoting. In his diary entry for January 14, 1950, Cesare Pavese, sitting in Turin, wrote, "Thinking back on the Dowling sisters, I know I lost a great chance to fool around." He was referring to Constance and Doris Dowling, two American actresses who had come to Rome to try their luck in the dynamically expanding post-war Italian movie industry. Constance, New York-born, 29 when the 41-year-old Pavese met her, was an attractive sandy blonde. Doris, 26, a brunette. Doris had more success in Italy as she had in the United States. In her best-known role before coming to Italy, Doris played Gloria, the good-hearted prostitute who, in the 1945 Academy Award-winning film The Lost Weekend, lends the Ray Milland character drinking money when no one else will. Her most important role came in Italy when the director Giuseppe De Santis cast her as the female lead in the Dino De Laurentiis-produced 1949 film Bitter Rice, Riso Amaro. That film, an enormous commercial success, included Silvana Magnano in her first feature role. Doris suffered in comparison. Bosley Crowther wrote in the New York Times that Magnano is nothing short of a sensation on the international film scene. It is not too excessive to describe her as Anna Magnani minus 15 years, Ingrid Bergman with a Latin disposition, and Rita Hayworth plus 25 pounds. Alongside of her, Doris Dowling, an American actress here played an Italian moll, is pallid and physically unimpressive but fully adequate to the moral substance of her role. Pavese had possibly met Doris earlier in Turin, but met Constance for the first time during a week-long trip to Rome over the new year 1949-1950. Doris, however, did not accompany Constance in early March 1950 when Connie, as Pavese called her, came to Turin to spend time with a couple Pavese knew, Giovanni Francesco Rubino and his wife, Alda Grimaldi. Even if her movie credits of the period do not indicate an overly taxing workload, Constance came purportedly because she was nearing exhaustion from overwork and needed a break. Alda Grimaldi asked Pavese to accompany the three of them to dinner as Constance's escort because Pavese spoke English well and had already met Constance. The Rubinos also intended to take Dowling to the mountains for a few days as part of their recreation plan for her. Constance asked Pavese to come along. Pavese, who openly detested the mountains, agreed, and in the middle of winter went with them to Cervinia, a fashionable ski resort on the Italian side of the Matterhorn. A trip Pavese made to a different mountain resort with a woman 16 years earlier resulted in a humiliating disaster. Cervinia turned into a triumph for him, a true ecstasy of sexual and emotional release. Even knowing what happened later, one wants to cheer for him up there in the mountains. The not very good-looking, complicated, sexually inadequate Italian intellectual gets the dazzling blonde American movie actress in bed, and they both have a wonderful time. It took a few days. They were close to sex on Monday, March 6. However, quote, Connie was sweet and submissive, but at the same time detached and firm. Pavese's diary entries showed that Pavese worried about his performance and that Constance understood his anxiety. Quote, beating, trembling, sighing without end. Is it possible at my age? It was no different when I was 25. Yet I have a sense of hope, of incredible, serene hope. She is so good, so calm, so patient, so made for me. After all, it was she who sought me out. But why did I not try Monday? Fear? Fear of Friday the 13th? Fear of my impotence? It is a terrorful step. While still in Cervinia, he wrote Constance a poem in English, the first poem he had written in 4 years. It shows the emotional afterglow of their sexual encounter and the beginning of Pavese's idealization of her. He entitled it To Sea, From Sea, and gave her the original. You, dappled smile on frozen snow, wind of March, ballet of boughs sprung on the snow, moaning and glowing your little O's, white-limbed doe, gracious, would I could know yet the gliding grace of collapse. Pavese and Connie are united by the same tragic epilogue of their lives, Smith says. Because, he explains further, Dowling also committed suicide. She did it like Pavese, with the same methods, a massive dose of sleeping pills. These days in Turin, where Shaw participated in a conference of the Gozzano and Pavese Study Center directed by Maria Rosa Masuero, who is digitizing all the works and papers of the writer from Santo Stefano Belbo, the scholar says he learned of Connie's end from Jonathan Shaw, son of Doris Dowling, Constance's sister. He met him, that is to say, Shaw, in a daring way. He had learned that Jonathan wanted to sell some letters, books, and film subjects by Pavese in the possession of his mother and Constance. Shaw, however, was about to leave for Rio de Janeiro, where he lives. Smith managed to reach him. Jonathan already had his bags in his hand. Smith bought the papers and, chatting with Shaw, he learned how the actress with whom Pavese had fallen in love at the beginning of 1950 had died. The circumstance was later confirmed to him by one of Constance's 2 sons. It is not known why Connie took her own life, nor whether she thought of Pavese while taking the sleeping pills. When she read in the newspapers that he had killed himself, she exclaimed, "I didn't know he was such a famous writer." What is certain is that fate wanted that torn love was sealed by the same dramatic ending for those who had experienced it.
is such a lovely day.
The flowers nod and seem to say, it must be joy for girl and boy to care for. How proud we'd be to be in your bouquet. Love has made it such a lovely day.
Big muscle, white man run this country. Women run the white man.
If they don't like it here, why don't they go back where they came from?
Love has made this such a lovely day.
The flowers nod and seem to say,
It must be joy for girl and boy to care for.
how proud we'd be to be in your bouquet. Love has made this such a lovely day. Let me go.
Darling, I'm sorry for what I said at the ball.
Let me go.
Not until you admit you love me.
Well, at least let go of my clothes.
That you love me and we're going to be married.
No.
Well, one thing at a time. You do love me.
No.
Still no? Let's get one thing straight. I hated Henry Small. He published my stuff because of prestige value. But he resented every dollar he had to pay me. What's more, he had me neatly tied to a vicious contract, which circumstances had forced me to sign, and which was locked securely in his office safe. There was no future for me while he had this in his possession.
You promised to send it up 2 hours ago. Well, the boy must have died, and I will too, unless I get something to eat. Look, can't you bring it up yourself? And tomato and whole wheat. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I want to see Small.
He's in conference and left word not to be disturbed. If you'll give me your name, Mr. Small will notify you by mail when it will be convenient for him to see you.
Oh. Well, look, sister. Convenient or not convenient, I'm going to see Small right away. So you just press one of your little buzzers there and tell him Mr. Andrews is outside.
I'm sorry, you can't see Mr. Small today.
Thank you.
Just a minute. I told you can't go in there.
Say, you must be a new piece of furniture in the office. Small always did go in for interior decorating.
You're drunk.
That's right. That's right. That's what comes from nipping on an empty stomach. Yeah, Small's quite a collector. Quite a collector. No ass, though. Just cheap, modern stuff.
What do you want? Gotta see you. Some other time. I'm busy right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Small. I tried to stop him.
Oh, that's all right, Miss Green.
I've been trying to find you.
As soon as I read the papers, I knew they'd arrest you and come looking for me. So I hurried over here. Then they put him outside, and I was stuck. I've been here for hours. Oh, Jeff, why'd you do it? Small was no good, but did you have to ruin your life? You've got so much to live for. Well, never mind. It's too late to think about that now. I've got some money. Not much, but enough to get us to Canada. Oh, you're hurt.
Look, I told you a story last night about a murder in a bolted room. How was it done? How did murderer get out of room bolted from inside?
You've got to remember.
I've got to know about that story.
No, don't talk. He'll hear us.
What about that story?
I don't know what you're talking about. You told me any story, I can't remember it. Rest a while now. We better start thinking of how to get out of here.
You mean you don't remember the story about the murdered guy in the bolted room?
You're a little tight.
What's your game, Goldilocks?
What do you mean?
Now, look, I'm a guy who forgets things when he's drunk. I've left more things in bars, from overcoats to dames I brought in. But if I forget everything else about last night, I remember one thing. I told you that story. What are you doing here, anyway? I'm a murderer. You've already tried and convicted me. Why did you come here?
That should answer your question.
I've got you pegged now. It's as obvious as those tight dresses you wear, the paint you smear in your face, and the perfume you sprinkle here and there to make you smell good. You came here tonight because as long as there was a guy named Andrews in the world, you wouldn't be safe. I told you last night how to commit the perfect crime, and you went out and committed it. Oh, don't look so innocent. You can drop that expression number 2. And I remember something else. You came in the bar last night, you were upset. Your dress was torn. Small in his usual subtle manner, had been playing Romeo. I don't know what went on up there, but whatever did, you hated him. The only reason you didn't kill him then was your fear of being caught. But you lost that fear when I explained my story to you. So you went back upstairs and tickled him with those shears.
That's not true, Jeff.
Well, as far as you were concerned, it was in the bag. Sure. A drunk had given you a foolproof idea of getting away with a murder which he'd forget. You didn't count on it pinning the crime on me, did you? Or did you? Oh, it doesn't matter now. You're through. And don't think you can soften me up with those tears. You made the mistake of thinking you could hook me without my wriggling a little.
It's not true, Jeff. Not a word is true. Why do you think I risked coming here?
I know. You came because you love me. Sure. Listen, you don't understand. You've got the wrong chump. Violins hurt my ears. And when the temperature's up, I drink a bottle of beer. And if I want poetry, I read Walt Whitman.
I came here because I knew you were in trouble.
Oh, get the Girl Scout.
Because as soon as I read the papers, I knew you'd killed Small. You don't have to lie to me, Jeff.
Oh, grow up and wash behind your ears, will you? I'm going to get out of here. There's a lot of things I've got to find out before the cops catch up to me again.
This coat has blood on it. Haven't you got another?
Yes, in there.
I think I killed Small.
Yes.
But Jeff, Jeff, I swear to you I didn't do it. You'll just get caught if you try to turn me in. They've got all kinds of evidence against you. You go to the chair.
What do I have to do? Drag you by the hair?
Police headquarters, Center Street. Man as soon as look at him. I hope I never lay eyes on you again. I'm not going to turn you in.
Oh, Jeff.
Now cut that stuff. I'm liable to change my mind. I'm getting out of here. If you're smart, you'll take that $60 and buy the longest strip of railroad ticket you can.
Jeff, you do like me. This proves it. If you didn't, you'd turn me in.
The only thing this proves is that I'm slightly moronic.
Hi, neighbor.
Hello, Helene. You shouldn't have come today. I'm in a stinking mood.
Good. I'll get stinking with you.
I don't mean drunk. Oh. Just don't feel like entertaining anybody.
Well, then I'll entertain you. Come on. Tell the neighbor lady what my big baby's sulking about.
I'm not sulking. I just feel like being alone. Can't you understand that?
Ooh, you really are in a nasty mood. But I don't mind. Oh? So this is the reason my picture stays in the desk drawer, hmm?
Don't be silly. That's only a girl I knew a long time ago.
Don't you be silly. I read the social columns as well as the funnies, dear. This picture isn't as good as the one in the papers when she married your brother.
All right. So she's my brother's wife. What's wrong with that?
For George, with all my love. A very chummy family, aren't you?
Get out of here, you little tramp.
I'll go. And I'll remember what you called me to.
And while you're at it, remember not to come back.
George, I didn't mean anything. I want to stay.
Well, I meant it.
Darling, please try to understand. I was jealous and, well, you're the one guy that never called me a tramp.
Well, beat it if you don't want to hear it again from the same guy.
Oh, you'll be sorry for this, George.
Do you wish to see me?
Elaine Anderson's the name.
I don't believe we've met before.
No, we haven't. But we have a mutual friend, and I thought we should know each other.
A mutual friend?
Yeah. Georgie.
Georgie? You mean George McAllister?
I don't mean George Washington.
Perhaps, Miss Anderson, you'd better tell me just why you're here.
Sure, why not? I just came up to tell you that Georgie is all yours. Or didn't you know we'd been dividing him up to now?
I still don't know what you mean.
Oh, snap out of it. I know you're French, but you've got a pretty firm grip on this country's language. It's too bad you don't know more about the men. He's a stinker and you can have him. Is that plain?
George is my husband's half-brother. I'm not interested in his personal life.
Half-brother, that's all, hmm?
Yes.
For George, with all my love, Carlotta. Oh, and I hope you forgive me. I broke the glass in the picture.
Oh. So this is blackmail, then?
No, it isn't blackmail. It's just that I want to see a few other people get what's coming to them for a change. And I intend to do it, too.
Carlotta. Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I didn't know you had company.
That's all right, dear. This is Miss Anderson, my husband.
How do you do, Mr. McAllister?
How do you do?
She, Helene, just learned where I was living, and...
I figured she'd be very happy to see me.
An old friend, eh? Fine. Are you a nurse, too, Miss Anderson?
Why,
You might say that we've taken care of the same patients, Carlotta?
Yes.
Good. I wish more of her friends would come. What's the matter, darling? Aren't you feeling well? You look pale.
Pale? How is your imagination, dear?
Just the same, I'd better have Dr. Mitchell take a look at you the next time he's here. Well, I imagine you girls have a great deal to talk about, so...
Yes. Yes, I could talk all day.
Well, I'll be running along then. Goodbye, dear. Nice meeting you, Miss Anderson. Come see Carlotta again real soon. Please do.
Well, I guess I'll be running along, too.
Miss Anderson.
Yes?
Thank you.
For telling you about George?
No.
Oh, for not telling him? Well, why should I? He's a nice guy. You ought to take good care of him. Well, happy, happy.
Маргарет, я рад тебя видеть.
Гвида. Какая прелесть. Это мне?
Конечно. Какое элегантное платье.
Та же модель, что и у герцогини Кент.
На тебя она смотрится гораздо лучше.
Неужели? Я тебя не видела вот уже 2 месяца.
Я был очень занят. Я же репортер. Но теперь я пришел просить у тебя прощения.
В наказание ты должен будешь провести со мной вечер.
Но это же награда.
Незаслуженная награда. Я вернусь через минуту.
Маргарет, ты такая красивая.
Я готова. Идем. Сделай так, чтобы этот вечер стал незабываемым, чтобы я могла забыть о твоем отсутствии.
Мне хотелось бы стереть это пятно с моей совести.
Хорошо. Гранд-отель.
Что?
Разве ты не хочешь поужинать?
Да, конечно.
Больше не води меня в свои таверны. Там такой сброд.
Как репортер, я стою своего веса в золоте.
Гранд-отель — это модный ресторан.
Уже нет. Я знаю потрясающее место. Доверься мне. Стрит. Ну, что будешь заказывать?
Икру.
Икры. Может, шампанское?
Не откажусь.
И шампанское. Слушаюсь.
А вот и соус. Извольте.
Маргарет, прошу прощения, не понимаю, что на нее нашло.
Ни капли не осталось.
Мой соус!
Сеньор Карло! Сеньор!
Мне уже пора в отель.
Ты не можешь в таком виде появиться в отеле? Что скажут люди?
Тебе-то что?
Ну, я переживаю.
Перестань.
Ну, приляг.
Только попадись она мне еще раз. Мерзавка.
Это было недоразумение, дорогая. Она не хотела. Поспи немного. Когда тебе станет легче, я отвезу тебя домой.
Моя голова.
Отдохни немного. Вот так. Так. Ну и умница. Вот так. Хорошо. Маргарет. Королевский театр, Ковент-Гарден.
Маргарет.
Маргарет. Маргарет, просыпайся. Да, пора ехать.
Не может быть. А вы уверены, что письма были написаны на наших бланках?
Абсолютно. Вы примете мое предложение? Если вы решите, что отказ им в театре будет стоить больше, я удвою предложенную сумму. Этот концерт не должен состояться.
То, что вы мне сейчас сказали, с лихвой покроет все расходы. А также тот злополучный вечер. Сеньор Марки не получит театр. Я никому не позволю делать из себя дуру. Никогда и ни за что.
Вы умны, мисс Джонс. Я понимаю, что мое предложение идет вразрез с интересами театра, и если Гвидо поговорит с директором, то вполне вероятно...
Он с ним не поговорит.
Хорошо. А если директор узнает, что бланки театра были использованы для подписания фальшивых контрактов? Это было бы превосходно.
Мистер Маклин, вы теряете драгоценное время. Мы договорились. Да.
Господин Марки, мэм.
Пусть войдет.
Привет, Маргарет.
Мой дорогой. Наконец-то я могу обнять тебя. Я думала о тебе с того вечера.
Спасибо, дорогая, но я был так занят. Очень. Был столько работы.
Ну, конечно, занят. И чем же? Чем?
Разве ты не знаешь? 4 оперных звезды приезжают.
Давай не будем говорить об опере, прошу тебя. Зачем говорить о работе, когда мы так близки? Ты ведь пришел не по делу? Поцелуй меня.
Минуточку, минуточку.
Я помешала?
Нет, ничего. Дора, Дора, это не то, что ты думаешь.
Подлец.
Нет, ты не поняла, Дора.
Что здесь происходит?
Я все объясню. Не стоит ревновать.
Думаешь, я ревную к ней? Ты просто подлец. Ты негодяй.
Но, Маргарет, я не понимаю, что ты имеешь в виду?
Все ты понимаешь. Ужин, бланки, контракты.
Ну, конечно. Это был сюрприз. Подумай, тебя ведь повысят как... Знает?
Директора нет. И главное здесь я. От меня ты театр не получишь никогда.
Маргарет, послушай.
Вышвырните его и больше никогда сюда не пускайте.
Маргарет, прошу тебя.
Пройдемте.
Маргарет, ну выслушай, ты не понимаешь. Я хотел...
Perbacco che sistemi, i suoi. Dunque lei che deve portare...
Pare di sì.
Roll è stato ferito nello scontro con la polizia?
No, è sano quanto me.
E lei chi è?
Io? Cosa c'è scritto nel biglietto?
C'è scritto un uomo fidato.
E allora, perché si è data tanto da fare per incontrarsi con Roll?
Beh, prima di tutto sono una giornalista e il mio giornale vuole questo genere di articoli.
E poi? Perché?
E poi penso che non saranno i consueti articoli sui banditi. A quanto dicono, Roll è qualcosa di diverso dal solito. Lei fa parte della banda di Roll?
Che ne sa lei di Roll?
So quello che ho letto sui giornali, che è un uomo molto audace e che da anni la polizia tenta invano di prendere. Sono felice di incontrarlo.
E non ha paura?
Sono venuta qui per questo.
Come? Non capisco. Vuol dire che lei è venuta in questi paesi unicamente per incontrarsi con Roll?
Precisamente.
E perché?
Non lo so. Ho l'impressione di dovermi incontrare con un uomo cavalleresco, generoso.
Ah, sì. Questo può dirlo.
Dicono anche che sia un bell'uomo.
No. Bello, no, ma piace alle donne. E le donne piacciono a lui.
Lontano?
Sì, che Roll non ama la gente curiosa. Attenta, si metta giù.
Quanti anni hai?
25.
25. E già ti rassegni. Hai ancora tanto da vivere.
Lei ha ragione. Non bisogna rassegnarsi. È per questo che voglio andarmene di qui.
Andare dove?
Non lo so. In qualunque posto pur di non vedere più questo fiume maledetto. Sono 2 anni che sto qui a marcire. È una galera. Se lei potesse aiutarmi.
Io? Ma come vuoi che ti aiuti? Che vuoi fare?
Qualunque cosa. Qualunque lavoro. Non ho pretese.
Mi scusi. Lei è attrezzata. Viaggia anche con la radio. È ricca.
Com'è tutto diverso di...
Già, è diverso. Da bambino ho vissuto anch'io su un fiume, proprio come questo. Mi ricordo che una volta ci caddi dentro e mia madre mi ripescò per un miracolo. Certi miracoli... Lo dica pure. Tanto certe volte lo penso anch'io. Fu una cosa strana. Quando mi trovai con la testa sott'acqua mi parve di sentire... non so. Era bello. Perché mi guarda così? Le sembra ridicolo quello che dico?
No, tutt'altro. Penso a una cosa.
Che cosa?
Che lei non deve essere cattiva. Forse se non avesse conosciuto Roll, non sarebbe diventato un bandito.
Sì, è quello che penso anch'io. È stata una disgrazia, ma non potevo fare a meno di evitarla. Mi sembra che abbiano finito. Si prepari.
Non mi lasciare, Nina.
Vigliacco! Finiscila con quel rumore! Facci uscire!
Non posso far niente.
2 di spade. Asso di coppe. Mischiamo le carte.
Continua. Non le piace la musica?
Roll, non c'è un minuto da perdere. Mi lasci portare la bambina all'ospedale?
Come te sempre le stesse cose.
Le giuro che nessuno parlerà. Loro resteranno qui. Quell'innocente.
Nessuno si muove, è meglio morire a quell'età. Diventerebbe come sua madre. O come lei, una giornalista noiosa e senza fantasia.
È la sua ultima parola. Su le mani.
La... Giornalista. Mi raccomando, non scrivere troppo male di me.
Perbacco, che sistemi, i suoi. Dunque lei che deve portare...
Pare di sì.
Roll è stato ferito nello scontro con la polizia?
No, è sano quanto me.
E lei chi è?
Io? Cosa c'è scritto nel biglietto?
C'è scritto un uomo fidato.
E allora, perché si è data tanto da fare per incontrarsi con Roll?
Beh, prima di tutto sono una giornalista e il mio giornale vuole questo genere di articoli.
E poi? Perché?
E poi penso che non saranno i consueti articoli sui banditi. A quanto dicono, Roll è qualcosa di diverso dal solito. Lei fa parte della banda di Roll?
Che ne sa lei di Roll?
So quello che ho letto sui giornali, che è un uomo molto audace e che da anni la polizia tenta invano di prendere. Sono felice di incontrarlo.
E non ha paura?
Sono venuta qui per questo.
Come? Non capisco. Vuol dire che lei è venuta in questi paesi unicamente per incontrarsi con Roll?
Precisamente.
E perché?
Non lo so. Ho l'impressione di dovermi incontrare con un uomo cavalleresco, generoso.
Ah, sì. Questo può dirlo.
Dicono anche che sia un bell'uomo.
No. Bello, no, ma piace alle donne. E le donne piacciono a lui.
Lontano?
Sì, che Roll non ama la gente curiosa. Attenta, si metta giù.
Quanti anni hai?
25.
25. E già tira sì. Hai ancora tanto da vivere.
Lei ha ragione. Non bisogna rassegnarsi. È per questo che voglio andarmene di qui.
Andare dove?
Non lo so. In qualunque posto pur di non vedere più questo fiume maledetto. Sono 2 anni che sto qui a marcire. È una galera. Se lei potesse aiutarmi.
Io? Ma come vuoi che ti aiuti? Che vuoi fare?
Qualunque cosa. Qualunque lavoro. Non ho pretese.
Mi scusi. Lei è attrezzata. Viaggia anche con la radio. È ricca.
Com'è tutto diverso di...
Già, è diverso. Da bambino ho vissuto anch'io su un fiume, proprio come questo. Mi ricordo che una volta ci caddi dentro e mia madre mi ripescò per un miracolo. Certi miracoli... Lo dica pure. Tanto certe volte lo penso anch'io. Fu una cosa strana. Quando mi trovai con la testa sott'acqua mi parve di sentire... non so. Era bello. Perché mi guarda così? Le sembra ridicolo quello che dico?
No, no, tutt'altro. Penso una cosa.
Che cosa?
Che lei non deve essere cattiva. Forse se non avesse conosciuto Roll, non sarebbe diventato un bandito.
Sì, è quello che penso anch'io. È stata una disgrazia, ma non potevo fare a meno di evitarla. Mi sembra che abbiano finito. Si prepari.
Non mi lasciare, Nina.
Vigliacco. Vigliacco. Finiscila con quel rumore. Facci uscire.
Non posso far niente.
Due di spade. Asso di coppe. Mischiamo le carte.
Continua. Non le piace la musica?
Roll, non c'è un minuto da perdere. Mi lasci portare la bambina all'ospedale?
Commente sempre le stesse cose.
Le giuro che nessuno parlerà. Loro resteranno qui. Quell'innocente.
Nessuno si muove, è meglio morire a quell'età. Diventerebbe come sua madre. O come lei, una giornalista noiosa e senza fantasia.
È la sua ultima parola. Su le mani.
La... Giornalista. Mi raccomando, non scrivere troppo male di me.
You let the cat out without this collar? You promised you wouldn't. You promised.
Well, it makes them uncomfortable.
Well, it's the only way they're safe. If they hear the bells, then the cat can't sneak up on them. You promised, Adele. You promised. Come on, Johnny. Adele, you got to get your cat out of there. You got to call it.
He won't come out. You frightened him.
Well, you can try. Please, honey, please.
No, why should I? You've never done anything for me.
What kind of twisted reasoning is that? This has nothing to do with you and me. It's that bird. How can you stand to listen to it suffer?
I can stand to listen to it because I know you can.
Adele, help me. I'll do anything. Things will be all right between us, but help me.
No.
Can't get it out. What are we going to do?
I don't know.
I've got a gun over at my place. I'll go get it.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare harm my cat, you meddling old fool.
You're just going to stand here and listen to that bird squeal itself out? Seems to me that Mother Nature gave us humans common sense so that we could help her out once in a while.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
Yes. So, I hope you never forget the sound of that bird squealing itself to death.
I'll forget it. That and a lot of other things.
Maybe you will, but they won't. Birds will remember.
You can send my trunk on to me.
They hate you, Adele. They'll always hate you. Even if you get out of here, no matter where you go, they'll hate you. You see, I know how they feel.
Goldwyn, please help me to get away from here.
Wouldn't do any good. It'll always be the same no matter where you go. Funny, isn't it? You've always hated this place. Now you'll never be able to leave it.
Walter, please forgive me. Forgive me. I'll do anything you say. Anything, I will.
Don't ask me to forgive you. I've got nothing against you. It's them. Remember what you once said? You don't approve of keeping living things in a cage. Well, maybe they don't approve of living things acting the way you do.
Oh.
Yes. Now they've got you in a cage. Cage of your own making. And you'll never get out. Never.
Now she knows it isn't very pleasant to be hated. It's only by the gentlest of dumb creatures. On second thought, are they so dumb?